Hello students, in this class we shall discuss how potentiometer can be used to find out the resistance, internal resistance of an unknown cell. Unknown cell in the sense its EMF is known to us, its EMF E is known to us, but internal resistance small r is not known. Internal resistance small r is not known. Okay, so normally a cell is represented like this. Here it can also be represented like this. E smaller. Okay, E is the EMF and R is the internal resistance of the cell. So this is almost same like the previous figure, but this part is same. Okay, now there is a change in this part. A cell is connected here. This is the cell whose internal resistance is to be determined. Now there is a resistance box. Resistance box means it is a box having some resistors whose value can be changed. It can be varied. That means simply we can say this is a resistor whose value we can write also as R simply. Whose value is R. Now this is R. Now this is galvanometer. Everything is okay. So first of all our job is to connect this end in this wire. Of course you do know that this is a resistive wire, and suppose this is connected somewhere. Okay, now first make this switch open. You have to, now already current is flowing in this path, that means switch K1 is closed. Now suppose K2 is open. If K2 is open, there is no current through this resistor R. That means this is disconnected. So current will enter here. It will bypass from here through A. It will go like this, come here, here, and this is the complete loop. We are interested in a loop. So how to make a loop now? Start from point A to E, E to Z, G to this point, from this point to this point A again. Okay. Now we shall put the equation for this loop, Kirchhoff's loop rule equation. Now we shall consider here that now I have already told you in the previous class that here the point N1 is the point N1 is the point where G shows zero deflection. G shows zero deflection. You can vary this point from point A to point C. You can connect it to any point. But N1 is that particular point where galvanometer shows zero current. At any other point, galvanometer will be showing some deflection. Some deflection means current will be flowing through this path. But we are not interested in current through this path. We are interested only in zero current through this galvanometer. So N1 is that particular point. So now let us apply the loop. So start from point A. If current does not go like this, current goes in this path. Now if current goes in this path, then E is opposing our current. That's why we can simply put E, only E, not E1, E. Then through E there is no resistors more. So G is the galvanometer, that is also having zero resistance, so it also does not drop, it will not drop anything. Now current flows like this to point N1. From point N1 our loop completes here, but here the existing current is opposing our current. That means it is again will be minus. If it is opposing, it will be minus. If it is not opposing, then plus. It is opposing, that's why minus. Minus. Now from this point to this point, it is a resistor, and let the length of N1 be AN1, length is L1, and phi is potential drop per unit length. Total drop by total length is potential drop per unit length. Then potential drop from A to N1 will be is equal to phi L1, drop per unit length into length of the element. So potential drop from A to N1 will be phi L1. Now drop is always negative because it consumes energy. So minus phi L1. Now we are already at point A, that's why equals to 0. From this equation we can write minus E plus phi L1 is equal to 0, implies E is equal to phi L1. This is equation 1. Now make this switch K2 on. If you make this switch K2 on, that means this resistor is now connected in this circuit. Okay, if resistor is now connected in this circuit, so that means current is flowing already here. Now it is also flowing through this path. That means these two paths are holding currents. So if K2 is connected, total current flows through this, and galvanometer, there is no guarantee that it will again show zero deflection at this particular point N1. So it could be some other point. Let that other point be N2. Let that other point be N2, and it is somewhere here. N2. Now we shall now go for the Kirchhoff's loop rule. But in this, now we are not going to apply the KVL in this path. Rather we shall go through this path. Start from point A, go like this, A to B, then through B, through galvanometer, again it is dropping 0, and to point N1, from point N1 to in this path up to A. So start from point A, go through this path. Here is a drop, but we do not know what is the drop. What is the drop? What is the current here? We do not know. That's what, so how can we find out what is the potential drop across this resistor? Let it be V. So let V be the drop across R. Drop across, because there is only one resistor connected from A to B. So all the drops will be across R. Now this is a drop, that's why I can simply write minus V. Very simple. From point B through galvanometer shows zero deflection, as well as it drops zero voltage also. So nothing will be written for galvanometer. Through this path to N2. Now from N to A, let the length AN2 be L2. If the length is L2, then what will be drop? Drop from A to N2. That will be phi into L2. Very simple. So, but this current is opposing our existing current. That's why first I will put minus sign. Then this is a drop. That's why I will put another minus sign and put phi L2. This is equal to 0. From this we can directly find out that V is equal to phi L2. So this is equation number 2. Now using these two equations, I can simply write that E by V is equal to phi L1 phi L2. Now phi gets cancelled. This becomes L1 by L2. Now let this be equation number 3. But in this case there is no sign of R here, that is internal resistance of the cell. So how to find it out? Now consider this portion, only this portion. I am erasing this, all of this, no more required. So if you consider this portion only this portion, we can easily see that total potential drop from this point to this point is V. Okay. Now we can resemble it to a particular cell. How? Recall that how a cell is represented. A cell having EMF E, internal resistance R, this is external resistor R, V is the potential supplied by the cell to the external resistance R. This is a typical cell. Now in this cell, if you resemble it to this one also, it looks like same or not. Only difference is R is shown implicitly here, here explicitly. We are showing R outside the EMF, outside the cell. Here R is not shown. Only difference is that, but figure is same. Okay. Here potential drop V, here is also V. I have not written here, but plus minus V. Okay. Plus minus V. This is drop V, this is drop V, this is R, this is R, this is cell EMF ER, ER, everything is okay, and current flows like this. Okay. What were the equations of these cells? One equation was E is equal to I, where here I, capital I, not a small I, capital I. So R plus R. This was the equation. Now one more thing I can write also. V is equal to simply IR. Recall the equations. I am not going in detail in this class. V is equal to IR. IR. Okay. From these two equations I can also simply write E by V is equal to this by this. That means I will get cancelled. So R plus R by R. Okay, very simple. Now look at these two equations. Let it be equation number 4. Equation 3 and equation 4. Left sides are equal. That's why right side is also equal. This implies from 3 and 4. LHS equal, so RHS will be also equal. So I can write R plus R by R is equal to L1 by L2. Okay. From this I have to find out small r. So how to find it out? I can go more one step. R by R is 1 plus small r by R. This is equal to L1 by L2 implies R by R is equal to L1 by L2 minus 1. R by R is equal to L1 by L2 minus 1 implies, I am writing above. So where to write it? I am writing here. R by R is equal to L1 by L2 minus 1 implies small r is equal to R whole into L1 by L2 minus 1. This is the formula for finding internal resistance of the cell. Here R is known to us, resistance of the resistance box. L1 can be found by just measuring the length of AN1. L2 can be found by measuring the length of AN2. Now everything is known to us, so R will be also known to us. So this is the way how potentiometer measures the internal resistance of a cell.